I'm so glad you could join me. It's the Stuck No More podcast, and I have a question right off the top. Are you ready to align your business with God's purpose and experience divine favor? Is that even possible? Kingdom business, my dear friend, is more than just profit. It's about purpose, stewardship, and expanding God's kingdom through your work, through your voice. In today's episode of Stuck No More podcast and live on TikTok, I say hey to TikTok, guys. Nice to have you here. Thank you. Good to see you on TikTok. Today's episode, we're going to discover and uncover how to build a business that not only thrives, okay, but also impacts lives for God's glory. So we're going to dive into 3 core principles that will transform your business. I forgot to check my mic. This is real, even on my podcast, I'm very, how do you say it? Very just as I am. So I'm saying hi to everyone on the podcast, and I don't know if my mic is working. Yeah, can I check real quick? Let me just check the settings. Audio. Yes, it's working. Don't you love if it's your podcast, okay? It's your podcast, and you get to do what you want to do. Now, granted, just for those on TikTok, I will throw this into an AI tool called Descript. Check it out if you're into podcasting. And what I'll do is I may just I'll be able to go into Descript, upload this podcast, and I'll be able to erase all that I'm talking to you about, because I'm not going to forget you. You're on TikTok. You're hanging out. Push like if you'd like to see this. I will do more live podcasts. All right, I'm going to get back to pretending like I'm talking and you're listening on the podcast. So I'm Theresa Croft. As always, I'm so glad that you're here. Yeah, what a topic. Align your business with God's purpose. Some of you may think, okay, I'm all for that, Theresa. Show us how. Well, I'm going to just touch on a few points coming from my perspective, though, because I firmly believe that if you're listening right now, I firmly believe this, that your unique voice is your identity, your values, and your experiences that can impact thousands. And I want you to impact thousands. Make money? Sure. We do not have a poverty spirit in the kingdom. Right, guys? Yeah. So I guess this first one is kind of align your business with God's purpose. And this, I'm not sure I agree when it says shift from profit to purpose. I think you can shift to purpose and gain profits. What do I mean by that? It goes down to attraction, marketing. You want to talk to people and really get to know them and be able to add value so that they'll want to know more from you. Like I'm at the top of the hour, I didn't say go to Second No More Now. I didn't tell you any of that because I want on my podcast, on my live TikToks, I want to just be real with you. So I do understand that kingdom business is not solely focused on profit, but this is the deal. I think if you come to your business with a kingdom mindset, and once again, continue to serve, profit will come. Because I think when you serve with that purpose, you create a deeper, more meaningful drive that extends to connecting with people. And yeah, you have a product. Yeah, you're into digital marketing, or you're not. Or you're into marketing. You're a coach. Got a lot of coaches listen to the Stuck No More podcast. Number two point under number one, prayer is good. So is guidance. Like, I believe my time, I'm looking over there because that's where I have my time. I believe that time in the Word, listening to God, it's funny, but I used to have my times with God, and if any marketing idea or anything came in, I'd push it away. I'm having my quiet time until I heard this great pastor said, you're having your time with God. Why don't you? If you get an idea, maybe it's God's idea. So sometimes I'll be praying and thinking about my business, and He will give me idea. I'm not so religious that I'm like, I can't do it. This is my Bible time. I'll set my Bible down and I'll go write a note. Might even implement something. Think about it. You're having time with God. If and he gives you an idea, maybe a witty idea, and then guidance. I think it's, I'm a big believer in mentorship. I'm a part of a TikTok mastery mentorship with a company I'm a part of now, Mastering Online Profits, to have a mentor that's trying to leave a legacy of arming us up with with skills to make money online. That's brilliant. I also believe sometimes you need mentorship to get through the drama of the trauma. I'm a big believer. It's not my identity, but I have gone through 26 years married to someone who did not deal with the brokenness of his soul. And, that brokenness can turn into someone who is controlling and pushes your voice down, and they need help, but they don't realize they need help. He passed away over 2 years ago, and I have used the guidance, the mental training to be able to speak to the person I once was. We're talking about aligning your business with God's purpose. Point number 1, prayer is good. Get the guidance, whether that's mental or business, get the guidance. I think it's important. And then, what's really awesome about this, you can have an impact. You can have an impact for profits, but the impact could go beyond the profits. You ever think about that? I think legacy is not just about leaving a load of cash. I think legacy is now, where you give joy and generosity in the now. If you're joining me on TikTok, you're listening to Stuck No More. We're going live on my podcast. I'm so glad you are joining us. So let's go to step number 2. We're looking at the model of kingdom, faith-based impact. This, when I say faith-based or kingdom, you can put any word in there, but that's my audience. They're kingdom-based. They're not religious. They're kingdom-based. Point number 2, wow, this is so huge. And this is what attraction marketing is all about. Stewardship and excellence in the marketplace. It's like you're stewarding the gifts, the resources that maybe God has given you. Everything you have, especially your voice, your talents, that's lined in your very DNA. Why don't we use those resources, our voice, and be these faith-based entrepreneurs that are willing to help people? That's what I love about this, Mastering Online Profits. Our number 1 goal with our program. Sorry, I was getting too close to the to my Facebook. Sorry, guys, I'm just right in your face because I'm talking to my live TikTok audience. So sorry. If you on the podcast, you're missing it. You're just listening to it. So you get these resources, and I think your voice is just like built in. And I'm so big on this, that you can use your voice and really connect, really care. Connection, care, authenticity. Those are the money online. It's not trying to sell, it's being authentic and connecting with people. That to me is the ultimate of kingdom, because you're not just sitting here and you're not looking at the camera in the back of your mind thinking, I gotta pay that credit card, gotta pay the credit card. People can tell. So go in there with, I may have to pay the credit card, but this is not about me. Let me say that again. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about the people that God assigned you to impact their life, and they may need the very biggest impact. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. They need some financial help. So excellence, your resources. And it goes without saying to operate with integrity. I mean, that just is obvious. You're going to be demonstrating honesty and integrity in your business dealings. And that sets you apart. I think if you're faithful in the little, God knows you can handle the much. Same thought, despise not small beginnings. When you're faithful for the little, okay, and you're giving it your all, and you may only have 200 views, but you're going to give it to those, I'm talking TikTok language, those of you on my podcast, you're going to give it your all. Do you understand? And God sees that, and there's a reward in that. Operate with integrity. Trust builds a loyal connection. and a base of people that, okay, I can trust her. She's real. She comes out with her microphone all the time, but she's real. This isn't plugged in. This one is, just in case you were wondering. I think reflecting the character of someone who may have a real deep belief in God, but they're not maybe sliming you with God, 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 Jesus, Jesus, but they have a character in the marketplace where this will stop your stuck on your voice any day of the week. It's like this: you create the way God creates. That doesn't mean thee, thou, thy. Oh, I got to create the way God creates, so I got to talk a certain way. No, you create the way God creates in your business: integrity, loyalty, attraction. You create the way God creates in your family. You love, you teach, you instruct. You create the way God creates in your marriage. That, as you make a move for that, can I just tell you, that is kingdom, and that will stop the attack on your voice in your kingdom business, in your faith-based business. If you like this and you agree with it, give me a like on Facebook, and hey, thank you on Instagram, not Instagram, FB, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Thank you for your hearts. I appreciate that. And another thing, and I don't think I have to say this to you as you operate your kingdom business: strive for excellence. You operate your business with excellence, but then you're representing the kingdom. If you come on and you're all sloppy, whether it's your podcast, like no more podcast going on, or it's in your FB or TikTok or whatever you're doing, and you're just like, hi. No, you got to strive for excellence. If that means you take some classes, if that means you sign up for some free things to help you, like I have for you, you strive. And listen, can I use the word, you know me, it's to say no to striving and yes to abiding, love the vine dresser. This is a striving that comes from a place of rest. Can I tell you that? This comes from a place of rest. Rest to run. Like, I don't get that. Can I share that with you? Rest to run. Those of you who listen to my podcast for years know this, because I talk about it all the time. Hebrews 11, verse 11, talking about Sarah. Remember Sarah and Abraham? God said to Abraham, you're going to have as many kids as the stars in the sky. And Sarah was barren and could not bear. But something happened after she laughed, because God said, that, and she laughed. She was like hearing God talk to Abraham, like, I'm a barren, probably 93. But then when she got done laughing, in Hebrews 11, verse 11, she did something. You ready? It says, but Sarah embraced the miracle working power of God, even though she was barren, even though she was past the childbearing, but her faith rested in the authority of the one who promised, and she tapped into his faithfulness. Are you catching that? A lot of resting going on, resting in the miracle working power of God. Even though you can do that, put your circumstance. Sarah was barren, but put your circumstance in there. I'm going to embrace God's miracle working power, even though I'm not making as much money as I want in my business, even though I don't get this marketing thing, even though I'm trying, I'm stuck, even though whatever your thing is. And then do what Sarah did. Another rest. She rested in the authority of the one who promised. If you're listening this far, God has promised you something that is only wired in your DNA, and you know it. Wired in your DNA. He's promised something. Can you trust in the one who promised? It says in the Word of God that God's promises are yes and amen. If God promises, you know what you do? You do what Sarah did, and she tapped into his faithfulness. That's the work. You're coming from that place of rest. You're tapping into his faithfulness by doing the work that you see that needs to be done in your kingdom business to make money online. Come on, I'm not going to shy away from that. Make money online. Be the Josephs of this generation. Joseph, from the pit to the palace. Joseph, who was a dream interpreter, interpreted the dream of the main guy, let's say the president interpreted his dream and said, hey man, you're going to have 7 years profit. You're going to have 7 years famine. And he got Pharaoh on board, and they were able to be the Josephs helping families in the famine. You, my friend, are a Joseph, woman or female, doesn't matter. Woman or female or male, it doesn't matter. God may be setting you up to be the hero of your family. Come on. You on TikTok are listening to the Stuck No More podcast live on YT, FB, and a couple other places because I want to talk kingdom. This is a gift. This is like something you can do. See, I'm doing one thing and I'm serving two outlets. You, my friends on TikTok, and then I'm going on to FB, two different channels, live on YouTube. Can I say YouTube? Not Instagram, LinkedIn. I could have Instagram, but then it goes like this, which I probably should have done. I'll do that next time. Probably look better on camera as I'm going there. Finally, we're talking about, what are we talking about? This is the Stuck No More podcast. If you're just joining us, we're talking about aligning your business with God's purpose and experience divine favor when you come from the place of really seeking first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Step number 3, you can expand your business. You can expand the kingdom through your business. Have you ever thought of that? You're like, oh no, it's religion says you can't make money. Don't go fall for that. You can use your business as a ministry, but can I say something? If you use your business as a ministry, that does not mean you give things away. Please, that's a poverty mentality, and you're enabling people. Your business could be a platform and it has ministry aspects to it, but you charge your money, friend. You are worth it. The marketplace pays for value, and your talent is your value. But you can bring that values, Christ-like values, to your business. And the final point is that you influence and disciple through your business. I think when you mentor people, I know when I mentor people, I get to know them. Yeah, we talk about business. We go through the TikTok audit process, which if you go to my link on TikTok, you'll be able to get in on that. Yeah, I mean, we talk, we go over the business stuff, but I can't help it. If I'm going to meet with you across from you on a Zoom camera or a StreamYard camera, we're going to talk. I'm going to find out about you. Same thing for those listening to my podcast. You know that many of you have been in my academy, and I had to close it because my husband was struggling and passed away. But you know what it's like. I love talking to people. I mean, if I look at you in the Zoom camera, you're there. It's like you are there. So the keys, I believe, my friend, that you can operate faith-based kingdom principles and make a difference for your sphere of influence, that you can make money online. I'm going to say it. Podcast hasn't heard me say this. You can make money online using TikTok. It's a wilderness, but you can learn attraction marketing. You can get in a mastery group that I'm in to really know the principles to help you. I don't talk about that much on my podcast, but I'm steering that way because I believe God has called me to be a voice in the wilderness to tell you, hey, we need you. You can be the hero of your family. We need you. You're the one that God has put his extra to what you think is ordinary, and you are an extraordinary solution to someone's pain point. I say that a lot because I believe it. So I appreciate you listening to this episode of Stuck No More podcast. This is brought to you by stucknomorenow.com/store. I'd love for you to check that out. And hey, will you do something? Share it with a friend. Write a review. We want this message to go to further places. So when you like it, you write a review on this podcast. It's really appreciated. So I'll talk to you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to Stuck No More podcast.